cut to the chase. Everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face, just to get up and finally escape. Wait, boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. They live through the story they made, okay? Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. Hey, legends don't die anyway. I was working on a play today. Body bags covered away. I paved, zipped up like a bathing ape. How many of us then came and stayed? Not too many. I've been staying awake to get it and get right on every mistake. I give them a bite, they taking a plate. It's all been a feeling that I couldn't shake. So I just keep killing till I'm at the gates. We straight, we treat them like worms in a lake. They bake, just give me a drum and a bass. I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face, okay? Don't fuck up my day. Don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm coated in Trey, I stick to the code. I'm glitching the game. I do anything for the win at the end of the day. I gotta cut to the chase. Everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face, just to get up and finally escape. Wait, boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. They live through the story they made, okay? Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. Legends don't die anyways. Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. They live through the story they made, okay? Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. Legends don't die anywhere.
We don't give a fuck, give a fuck, give a fuck, fuck. Give a fuck, give a fuck.
with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me. I don't care if you pushing 40. You can never little bro me. Euro step like Ginobili, from young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds to floor seats. Circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach. We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who ready? We ready. Been ready. I waited. My turn. On God. Hell steady. I keep dropping back to back. I keep going if you let me. I've been sitting at the top, looking down at those who left me. Promise I'm not being petty. I'm the one they envy. Brody moving state to state, make $1 million out to send me. Plus I grinded from the start. I was stacking pennies. I might dip like Machiavelli. After the confetti. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who?
Hello and welcome everybody. How are we all doing? Welcome to round 11 here at AERS, and it is one of my most favorite tracks. It is the Las Vegas circuit here this evening. Can't wait for this one to get underway. Been looking forward to this one on the calendar and looking forward to it elsewhere. I can't wait to get back on this track and race it. It is definitely one of my favorite tracks. A lot of people don't like it, but I am definitely one of them people that is on the line of I very much love this circuit. I've had some great racing here in the past, commentated on some very great racing here in the past as well. So let's hope that the lads can bring it this evening for round 11. But before we move into that, let's have a quick recap on round 10, which was Mexico. And it gave us a treat. It gave us weather that was pretty much borderline. And we'll look more into that as we look at how the race actually unfolded. So, qualifying, Finley took P1 with a 113.647. Absolutely cracking lap from the SCI driver, with Quantum getting P2 with a 113.842. And Sem close in behind with a 113.853 for P3. So, at the start of the race, we had a stunning move from Sem going into turn one around the outside, taking 2 positions to then lead the race. We had OMB Schumacher making moves off the start, also getting past Quantum to claim P3. And then lap 2, Quantum went on to take that P3 back, but it cost them heavily. It did cost the rest of the pack heavily, that battling for P3 and 4. It ended up after the end of lap 2, there was a 2.3 second gap splitting P1 and 2 back to P3 and 4. So there was quite a big gap. It was pretty much a race that Finley and Sem could control from the front. Sem did look like he had that little bit of extra pace compared to Finley in race trim, whereas obviously in quali, I think Finley just had it. I think quite a lot of drivers invalidated their final runs in qualifying, so it could have been a different story, but obviously Mexico, we know, is a difficult circuit and easy to invalidate on. So yeah, and then we move on to lap 7, and this was probably the most heartbreaking moment for SCI, where Finley, after doing so well, his PlayStation turned off, and by the time he came back into the race, I think he was P12, then it was pit stops. And yeah, it just didn't go Finley's race. He had great difficulty getting back into the lobby. Then we move on to lap 10, where Wards was first into the pits, followed by OMB, Nico, and Emilio. Then lap 11, Sin Quantum, Schumacher, Marco, Gotto, Sam, and Mip all do it. Nico obviously went for the undercut against Quantum, came out with I think it was like a 2.2 second gap to Quantum. And then we move on to lap 13. Nothing really much happened from lap 11 to lap 13, even though it was only 2 laps. Sem decides to pit, comes out P5. Now, at the time, obviously, you're thinking, as he left it a bit too long coming out in P5, you know, people ain't going to make it easy for him to get back up to the front. We saw Dennis try and go on to the mediums on lap 14. Took a chance, didn't really pay off. In the end, ultimately, it cost him massively with him ending up DNFing from the race and bringing out a safety car. We had 10-second time penalties that were removed. Obviously, Sem got one that was removed by the stewards at the after the race. So Sem did go on to actually win the race. And then lap 18, like I said, we've seen Sem pick up the collision with Schumacher, which was obviously dropped. Thomas led on all tyres after the safety car restart, but in the end, I mean, Sem just was a cut above and really did well in that race, really went for it, and ultimately didn't. I think he knew that 10-second time penalty, you know, did have the potential to be removed, so he drove very, very well, very, very consistently, and you know, with a good race. Let's not overlook like some of the people that you know may not have had a good qualifying, but really did end up having a pretty decent race and bringing them a haul of points. I think the one person that kind of stands out from last week's race would be Gotto. Gotto started outside the top 10 and walked away with a top 10 position, scoring some good points for AERT in the end as well. Sammy Lewis just not fortunate enough to make his way up there. Very, very difficult race for him, but I'm sure that we're going to see some very good racing nonetheless. So we've got a message from Grumpy. Vola is racing, so stand by on the chat going mental. And yeah, as we all know, everybody loves Vola here. Hiya Vola, as everybody will probably come in saying in the chat. But yeah, I mean, Grumpy throwing a quick note in the chat as well. This will be Caden's last race for a while on behalf of AERS due to him moving to wheels. So Caden, you know, after this race, best of luck, mate. It isn't an easy transition, but I'm sure with the pace that you carry, it won't be too long until you're back up to pace and battling back up at the top. So let's just have a quick look at the constructors. Let's see how that's lining up in regards to obviously how everything went. And I am going to look on my phone because it's too small on my screen. And as you can see, SCI, I mean, the gap's being closed by AMR. SCI over the, I would say that at least the last 4 races haven't done as well as what has been projected at the beginning of the season. They were very, very dominant in their racing, very, very capable. So are we going to see SCI try and extend that gap? Or are we going to see AMR really close that gap again? There was only 63 points. There's only a handful of races left, but it still puts AMR right in there. The battle for P3 really is heating up with FRT, AERT, VNT, and OMB all in with a shout of potentially taking that P3. OMB not so much; they are quite far back, but we have seen recently, like the drivers did really have a good race last time out. Just unfortunate with the strategies. Obviously, Schumacher getting double stacked in the pits that lost him a couple of positions with the safety car at Mexico. But yeah, I mean, AMS and RSC really do want to be hoping for a good result here at Vegas. Let's hope that the drivers can really take on this Vegas circuit and try and bring home a good haul of points and try and get involved in these battles for these high positions. So we're just going to have a quick look at the lineup as well to see who is racing who, and yeah, let's have a look. So for AERT in the Alpine, it is Caden, as we said, and the man himself, Track Racer, who's had some really good races when he has been here. So fingers crossed for another one, another amazing race from Track Racer. SCI in the Mercedes, as always. They have Nilo and the great man himself, it is Vola. RSC drive in the VCAB, and they have Raphael, and I can't see the name on that one, so we'll have a look, obviously, once we get into the lobby. On behalf of AMR and Ferrari, it's Zito and Tico. For FRT in the Red Bull, it's Adrian and Karimko. For BRC, driving on behalf of McLaren, it's Ragnito and Persona. VNT driving the Williams, and it is Melwin and Ray Wintz that will be driving for them. IRT, it is Aston Martin with Sim Barrackson and Nick. OMB drive for Haas, and it is Nico Rasenberg and Schumacher once again. Good pairing last time out. Let's see if they can, bring up a really good result here this evening. And for AMS, who drive in the Kick Sauber, it is Gelram and Edward. Two new names for AMS that we have not come across before, but let's think it. So the circuit, let's have a look at the track info. Let's do it quite quickly as we need to get into the lobby. So the first Grand Prix was held back in 2023 with the track length being 6.201 kilometers. Your lap record is held by Lando Norris, which is set back in 2024, which is a 1 minute 34.876. Most pole positions goes to Charles Leclerc and George Russell. I'm sure that may have been updated with, I don't know whether Lando got last year's, but most wins goes to Verstappen and Russell. Bit of track trivia for you. F1 previously staged 2 races in Las Vegas in the early 1980s under the Caesars Palace Grand Prix moniker. The pole run to turn one breaking point is quite a short one, with 150 meters just to that breaking point. Your safety car probability is around 50%, with virtual safety car probability being the exact same. Your pit stop time loss here at the circuit is 20 seconds, including a 2.5 second stationary stop. Now, let's talk about that start of the race and where people will be kind of coming out. And I mean, if you're anything past the top 10, you are pretty much starting on a corner. I'm just getting to chat, people. I will look up in a short second. But yeah, it is a bit of an awkward start if you get outside the top 10. But there are 17 corners here at the Las Vegas circuit with 2 DRS zones. The first on the track is between turns 4 and 5. That little run there down to turn 5. You could see some battling and going into there. Can see a lot of coming togethers there as well. And then the next is between turns 13 and 14. That very long straight that you will see drivers hitting their top speed down that straight, and we will see some battling going into turn 14, into that chicane 15, 16. Do tend to see quite a lot of battles going on there, and we could see a lot of changing up at the front, some DRS, definitely, DRS train here. Sector 2, probably the more difficult part of the circuit, in my opinion. With that turn 6 and turn 6, 7, 8, 9, they're quite awkward. Well, I find them awkward. These lads might find them an absolute breeze. But yeah, it's one that I do not get on with. But we're going to move into the lobby now, people. So this will be all from my face. I'll still be chatting. But we will see you on the flip side. So here we go, people. I am sat in utter comfort. I don't know what I did this evening to make my missus so proud. Maybe did the pots in a good way, but she brought my recliner chair into the back room for me. And I am sitting in absolute comfort, people. Absolute comfort. So, and just like a little thing, I had the honour and the privilege of meeting David Scipio Jr., a Creator Series driver. Bought my seat off me, my F1 PlayStation play seat. Honestly, privileged to meet him. Absolutely sound guy. Think he does have a race here tonight. Race this evening for the Creator Series. I will be having a little look in and saying hi to him later. But yeah, absolute privilege to meet the lad. So down to earth, and yeah, wish him the best of luck in his future in racing. He drives a lot of LMU as well, so yeah, can't wait to see the lad proper in a really good race. Watched a couple of his races. I have seen him race in the Creator Series. You never think you'd meet somebody that actually races a part in such, like, it is. It's a prestigious place to be. They have a lot of people following the races and stuff like that. So, and as we were talking about Voller earlier on, Kai, first one in, higher Voller. How are we doing, Kai? Hope you're well, sir. But yeah, lobby filling up now. 18 drivers in, and hoping for a very, very good race here this evening. Like I say, Grumpy. Yeah, don't worry, Grumpy. I was on it, mate. Just after I press Y, then I see it go. Then I see Grumpy say it in the chat. And it's been a running thing for me with like the people running the lobby saying spectator. It's always been like a kind of thing. Obo Alf, a guy who I used to do comms for in his league, was constantly telling me to go in spectate. So it's just one of them things. You just come into the lobby, you don't think you have to press anything, but you really, really do. But yeah, really can't wait for this one. How are you people in the chat feeling about Vegas? I mean, I don't know whether, I mean, there'll be a few of that aren't racing. What line, you know, what side do you fall on? Do you like the track or don't you like the track? What is it that you don't like about the track? Tell us in chat. Let us know. Let's have a quick conversation before we get qualifying getting underway, which should be very, very shortly. But as I said, it's a favourite track for me. Holds a lot of fond memories. My first ever race win here. If you've been following the channel for a while, and obviously when Vegas comes around, you're probably expecting the same comment, you know. This is where I got my first win, but it isn't. And it's a track that I really do enjoy. For some reason, I can just click with it, as whereas others I can't. Yes, JSR Joseph, how's it going, brother? Hope you're well. We got RSF1 Invade. Gotta love a bit of Vegas. Exactly, Invade. Exactly, Vegas. Absolutely brilliant track. And glad to hear you're doing good, Joseph. Glad to hear you're doing good, mate. But Vegas is a brilliant track. I mean, I don't know whether you people feel like it, but when you look at the circuit, all I see is a pit roast pig. A pit roast pig. That's all I see. Like with that track layout, that's all I can see. It just looks like, and it's very American of them to make it look like that, to be honest. Because I think when you think of America, I mean, especially, me personally, I think of barbecue. I've also got a Vegas race right now. Oh, best of luck, Joseph. Best of luck, brother. Hope you have a very good race and get a brilliant result out of it. Look at that. He's got a race and he's tuning into us. Yeah, no worries, Joseph. No worries, brother. Thank you very much, Aaron Gibbo, for the follow earlier on in the stream. Massively appreciated, as always. Very much looking forward to seeing Track Racer back this evening for AERS. Has put on some brilliant drives. Especially, I think it was his first qualifying, did one run and then his final run and slammed it into P2, if I remember correctly. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant from Track Racer. Let's see if we can be the #1 stream for F1. Well, it'd be a hard one, but we do have the viewers and you boys have got the connections. Let's see if we can be the #1 stream for this evening. As we get Silo, Grimbands, Haya, Vola. Kai, we do not want Pratt Racer driving. Oh, Kyler. Bit of fear from the SCI boys. But I mean, yeah, I mean, the recent run of results for SCI hasn't really put them in the, like, they was in a very, very dominant place a couple of races back. Looks like the championship was theirs for the taking. But the recent run of results hasn't really put them, and it's not due to, obviously, their fault. I mean, obviously, it's like, obviously, Finley last time out, the disconnect, stuff like that, so the luck hasn't kind of gone their way. But can Vegas bring that luck back? We will find out very shortly, people, as we move into qualifying here at the Las Vegas circuit, and everybody buckling. We know how close these qualifyings can be. We've seen it all season long so far, that it can be so close up at that top, for that top spot. As we get Josh in the chat as well. Good evening, Josh. Good evening, Nat. How we doing? Silo as well. How we doing, Silo? Too far. Too far, Tony. Too far. But here we go, people. And it is the start of qualifying. Like I said, OMB, I mean, their team had a really good result last time out at Mexico. I'm sure they scored P4 and 5 in qualifying. But Vegas, different track, different animal. So, are they going to be up and around there this evening? Absolutely brilliant track, this. Turn 5 I'm not really fond of. Just because I absolutely screwed up a race win on the exit of that corner. It was a guaranteed win. I was like 6 seconds ahead. And yeah, managed to break my wing. But we've got one of the OMB boys out. It is Nico to hit the circuit first. And he will be the first to set a lap here this evening on this great Vegas circuit. You've done 0.5 minutes. But yeah, we got Ray Wintz hitting the circuit now as well for VNT. Tico as well, and Zito also hitting the circuit. Burger terrorism tonight. Maybe. What a Wi-Fi crew. So they're having a good giggle between themselves in the chat. Obviously, you should PB when you're doing laps in the 30s. But on board with Nico as he heads down this back straight on his run down to turn 14. Very difficult turn 14, 15 and 16. Might see a few cars tripping up there. Bit of contact as well. So here goes Nico on his way to start his lap, and here we go through the final corner, and it's across the line he goes to start the opening lap of the evening here at Las Vegas through turn 1. Looking nice and clean from Nico. Through into turn 3 on the exit of 4 there. Why is 4 there? It doesn't look like there's 4 corners there on the track map anyway. There we go, braking into turn 5, hugging that inside right curb. Bit of contact on the exit there with the rear of the Haas on the exit of turn 5. Into 8, now into 9. Comes Nico. As now he makes his run to turn 12. And then we'll hit that long straight for a dose of ERS and DRS. Blasting him down to turn 14. So here we go. Let's jump on board with him. Let's see what pace he can get up to. Does it say about the speed? It does. So he's doing, I think it clocked up at 351 there. So 351 kilometers per hour down that back straight, cleanly through turns 14, 15 and 16. It's through 17 comes Nico, and what's the time? It's a 129.781 from Nico. Brilliant lap there from the OMB driver, as we now check in with ART Caden. As we said, this will be his final race for a while, as he is moving on to wheel after this. So let's hope it's a good final race on controller for Caden here at the Vegas circuit. Yeah, really good banker there from Nico. As Melwin now moving into that top spot, and we've got Caden going into the pits. Let's have a look at SCI Nilo. Or Nilo. Making his run down to turn 14. Couple more drivers. Voller in at P6. That's where he qualified last week at Mexico. Can we see him higher up this week? Or have we just hit a few tracks that Voller isn't the greatest on? But it's across the line. Nilo with a 130.069 puts himself P7 just behind his teammate and not too far behind him at all. And it looks like Ray going very slow there down the straight. Let's have a look at Giggle, who has started their first run of the evening. Currently in the DRS zone. Bit of a wiggle. Doesn't look like he's happy with the time there. That could be a back out of the lap. So I tell you what, we will have a look at AMS Edwards, who now is starting their first run of the evening. Through turn 1, turn 2. Very nice there from Edward. Running a bit wide there, nearly making contact with the wall on the exit of turn 4. So it's turn 5, nicely. Again, another car making contact with the exit of turn 5. Didn't look like a clean corner from in there. Just a bit of hesitation, maybe. I don't know, but didn't look a clean corner there from Edward in the kick salver. But still, he carries on, and here's turn 12. And a big slide through that corner. That could cost him some time. Can hit it clean next time round, maybe he can gain a bit of time there. His teammate also out on the circuit, just a bit further down the track. We'll go across the line first, so let's see what Gel Ram can do, as he's just made his way through turn 15. And he's on the run down to the start finishing line. AMS Edward, not the greatest of chicanes there. Gel Ram goes up into P11. What can Edwards do? As he crosses the line, it's a 131, and he goes in at P13. Let's have a look at Kavrim in at P16, currently with no time on the board, driving on behalf of Red Bull. Now making his way down to turns 14, 15, and 16. Throwing that Red Bull through. Oh, looks like a good exit for Karim, and now it's power down to the start finishing line. Looking like a pretty decent time could be set here from Karim across the line to 129.808. Moves up into P4. And his teammate just out on the circuit, so we'll move over to him. Let's see if he can improve on a P6. 129.872 for the driver that for Adrian. So let's see if Adrian can improve. How are we all doing, chat? What do we think the qualifying, the top time will be? Give me your predictions in the chat. Who's coming out on top in this qualifying? Who's going to take it? Melwin, obviously with a little bit of an advantage at the minute, at 129.621 from Melwin, putting VNT on that top spot. But we still have plenty of time left here in qualifying for that to change. But yeah, what do we feel, people? Is it going to be a low 29? How low can it go? I'm going to say a 29.4 will be a pole position. Anybody want to counter that and come back at me with another one? But nice to see everybody in the chat. 34 people watching along here for round 11, and it is absolutely great to see. Welcome in everybody, hope you're all well, as we've got on board with Adrian. Well, we're not on board, we're using the cam, but let's see what he can do. Can he improve on P7, OMB again, doing well here. Currently holding P2 and 6. So, are we going to see another good drive from both Nico and Schumacher here at the Las Vegas circuit? Are they here to right the wrong of last week? Which, in reality, they should have done better. But obviously, safety cars and everything else. The late safety car as well, only leaving 2 laps of racing. And I think the biggest shock out of that race, on them final 2 laps, Quantum really couldn't get past tyres that were, I'd say, at least 15 laps older than his. So the drive that them guys put on were absolutely brilliant. Kai, what have you clipped? But Adrian doing well. Missed the first sector split there, but here comes the second. It's an invalidation through turn 12 there from Adrian, which is very unfortunate. Let's have a look at the great man. And I know you'll probably all want this. Let's see how he handles the chicane. Let's run down to turn 14 here for Voller. And his car will probably top out. Topping out at 345. So I think Voller with a bit more higher wings here. As we see Ray Wins coming into P2 there. That's VNT holding P1 and 2 currently. We're on board with Voller. He's gone past the final corner. Here he comes across the line. He improves by 2 tenths for 129.837. But I think pretty much stays exactly where he was before he started that lap. But yeah, Ray Wins getting a brilliant lap in there, jumping up into P2. Let's have a look at Nico. Watch for the exit here as the sector split is there. Big contact with the corner. Cheeky little bit of slipstream, but he is down by over a tenth, and that will be probably lap abandoned. Let's jump on board with Schumacher, currently a tenth and a half up, as he's making his way through turns 14, 15, 16. Good exit, power down. And now the OMB driver making his way to the start finishing line. Is there going to be big improvements for Schumacher? Here he comes. It's to the line. It's a 129.766. Puts Schumacher into P3. Is it a battle for OMB and VNT tonight here at Vegas? I think Voller making his way back into the pit lane. Let's have a look at Nick. Nick, I think, abandoning his lap. Let's have a look at Ragnito. I think all these may be on the way back into the pit lane. Ragnito, yeah, definitely on his way into the pit. So all these racers, Trap Racer, who jumped on board with him at the right time. He's coming across the line to 129.836. Track goes up into P9. Caden, a respectable P5. Both drivers in the top 10 here so far. But Track Racer still with another run. Can he improve? Are we going to see the Track Racer of the past, where that final run sees him move up into the top 3? We'll have to wait and see. Yes, Smeggy, how's it going, bro? Nice to see you in the chat, mate. Yeah, Track Racer. Good result. Zito. Looks like he is on a lap here. And it's the run. No, he's into the pits. There we go. So everybody into the pit lane now, getting ready for the final runs of the evening. And I think we have a look as we get Caterpillar in the track. What track is this? This is Las Vegas, and we got Finley. How are we doing, Finley? Nice seeing you in the chat, bro. Just want to say, massive unlucky for last week at Mexico, brother. You did well in qualifying. And yeah, he deserved a lot more from that race. Just your PlayStation screwed you over. Yes, Mr. Crew, how's it doing, bro? How are you doing, mate? Nice to see you in the chat as always. Who's Melvin the goal? Melvin is a good racer. He has done some good racing this season. Got cars all in the circuit now for the final runs of the evening. And I think it's only fair that, you know, Melvin should get that limelight. Who do we jump on board with first, though, to see? We've got to be Nico on it for OMB. Currently sat in at P4. He's challenging for that top spot. Sammy Lewis in the chat as well. How are we doing? We've got Grantus F1. Voller needs to lock in. How are we doing, Grants? Voller doesn't need quali, says Finley. Ones I've heard of from this race is Adrian and Sim Barrett's one. Well, welcome in, Caterpillar. Hope you're doing well, mate. Nice to see you joining us in the chat. But yeah, Voller is probably the most famous driver that we have. Chat-wise, everybody loves him. Mainly the SCI boys. But he needs a good result. He's not had a good... He's not... I don't think we've seen Voller on the podium for quite a while now. Race country. Just weaving, trying to get a bit more temperature in the tyres there. So, Nico, what can you do? Have you got a P1 in you, brother? It's over to you. Here we go. Nico, with his final run of the evening, can he claim P1? Can he take it away from Melvin? Or are we going to see the great man Voller, who currently sits in P10, snatch a P1? Here we go. If you don't like Voller, you're just trying to be different. Hey, I haven't said I don't like it. I think he's quality. Just being a commentator and being on the fence. He hasn't had a best, you know, run of results recently from what we're used to seeing him. Like last time out, P6 in qualifying. It's not Voller. Like, it's not the Voller we've seen in qualifying. He's usually been right up at the top, but we all know his race pace, and he is one hell of a driver, so... Who's begged it? But here we go with Nico. Watching for the Sector 2 split. And it's an invalidation for Nico through a turn 12. Let's have a look at Melvin, who does hold that top spot. Where is the great man himself? I think he's in front. Here he is. And he's messed up. Melvin messes up on the exit of turn 12. Not Melvin, sorry. Voller. So Voller... Lap's gone pretty much. Let's have a look at Caden. Can Caden improve? Caden is improving. He's improved through sector 1. I think Melvin a bit further on from him. Let's just check. Not Melvin, behind. Caden. Nico into the pits. Unlucky for Nico. Dropping, I think he will drop positions at the end of this qualifying due to that. Giving the rest a chance. Okay, I'll believe you. But Simba has one retired from the session. Down in P13. Can Caden improve on P7? We've got Zito moving to the top. Where is Caden going? Has he done enough to improve on this lap? Gain a couple of positions. It's round the final corner. Caden to the line, so 129.59. 40 moves to P2. Let's have a look at Melvin. Melvin, only P3. Couldn't improve on the lap. Let's have a look at Adrian. Adrian, final one on the second, and he's not going to be able to do it. So it's Zito, the man who took qualifying here, goes on that top step. And the SCI boys, P12 and 13. If Zito can bring home a good haul of points here. And Tico, they could really close the gap in the championship. Sandbag still off. But there we have it. Zito with the top spot. Caden with a great P2. Go on, Caden, lad. A great final qualifying for him on controller. Seeing him in P2. Brilliant result for them. Melvin P3. Schumacher is 4. Track Racer 5. AERT could be on for a really good result. Ray Wins is 6. Giggles in at 7. Tico 8. Adrian is 9. And Nico is in at 10. Karim 11. Vola 12. Nilo in at 13. Nick is 14. And the rest. Sorry, I couldn't run through them. But there we go, people. What a qualifying. Zito out of nowhere. Absolutely taking that top spot with Caden with a really good effort at going for pole position. Just slightly beat there by Zito. We've got Grant's F1 back in. My PB is actually decent for once. It says Grant's in the chat. But yeah, absolutely brilliant qualifying there. And this run of, I would like to say bad luck for SCI continues on here at Vegas. Qualifying not there yet again for the team. And it doesn't help starting back there. You know, if anything messes up, it's only going to have a knock-on effect going back. And I think Voller and Nilo need to have, you know, for the next race, SCI need to be really bringing in the points and killing this championship. I mean, they could have probably killed it tonight if they would have got a really good result and probably put the wind in some, you know, the other teams that were chasing them. But yeah, it just doesn't seem to be going well for the SCI team at the minute. Something needs to change. I think the SCI boys can agree on that one. Or as I said, it just could be the tracks. You know, the tracks, they could have been really good for SCI in the beginning of the championship, and this kind of middle part has not been the greatest for them. So, can they bring it back at the end of the season? They need to start bringing in them points. Because the more you let somebody in, the bigger their confidence becomes. And I'm sure that the rest of the grid and the people chasing that top spot are growing in confidence with the results that SCI are actually having over the past couple of weeks. But yeah, short little break now while the lads get ready to start this race. Can Zito hold on? Or are we going to see somebody else on that top step? I think there's only been like 1 or 2 drivers this season that have been able to start P1 and win the race, if I'm correct. But here we go. We have 5 red lights here at Las Vegas. It's round 11 and we are underway. Then they're on the run down to turn 1 as they're all battling for that P1 position. You've got Zito trying to hold on to a lead on the hards, but we've got Caden on the mediums going round the outside. You've got Melvin just watching on in behind. And there we go, people making positions. Track Racer already up 1 position, beating Schumacher to a P4. So AERT in a strong position here, leading the race with Caden. And we've got Track Racer in at P4. There's been a bit of contact with the wall further on. It's an AMS Edwards who is in that little runoff space on the exit of turn 5. Well, on the middle of turn 5, should I say, not on the exit. Tyres, please. You are... There you go. So there are your tyres. We'll leave them on because everybody likes to ask about them, so we'll keep them up for you guys. But yeah, great start from AERT, leading as Zito has took a bit of pain. He is on the hard compounder tyres. It is a lot harder to get the temperature up, get the grip, you know, to have the feel for the tyres. As we see Track Racer already trying to put Zito under pressure here. But yeah, great start. We've got Giggles and Tico having a bit of a battle further back. Side-by-side action through the chicane. And Voller still in at P11, but his teammate Nilo down in P16, moving up to P15, getting past Janpin. So Zito, strong position. Ray Wintz and Schumacher battling out side by side. And Schumacher just, that wider angle just not suiting him there. But you've got the Red Bull of Adrian looking to get involved here. And there goes Track Racer side by side with Zito. Can he get the position away from him? He can't. But he is hunting Zito. He is all over the rear diffuser of the Ferrari driver. And this will be pressure that Zito doesn't want on their mediums, but handling it well so far. Good start to this race, and now we'll kind of see it settle down. Probably apart from Track Racer may try and launch an attack on Zito, try and take that P3, which would put AERT in a great position to command this race from the front and control it. Caden, a bit defensive against Melwin there. As we got Nico and Adrian side by side. And Nico keeping the position there in front of Adrian. But Adrian is making moves. Got Giggle as well. And Schumacher, Track Racer, has he gone for P3? He's got P3 against Zito. But it's cost him a bit of time. It's cost him DRS, I think. It has cost him DRS. Now, this is where Track Racer is going to want Caden to slow him down, but Melwin has took the lead of the race away from Caden. They could have worked together a little bit, and the side-by-side action from the front will help him get onto the back and get within DRS range. We know going side-by-side really does slow you down through the corners, and look at that. Now here they go. This is where they have to work together well. Track Racer needs a good exit. He needs to be right on the rear of Caden from both to potentially get a move on Melwin down into turn 14 as we get the first DNF of the evening, and that is Edwards. Track Racer, bad exit out of turn 12. He's still in DRS range, luckily enough, and Caden is right. There he goes, DRS, ERS usage there from him, and that sees him move back into the lead of the race. But like I said, AERT in a strong position to command this race, both with Caden and Track Racer being up at the front. Zito has lost quite a few positions. Zito now down in P6. He is on the hards, whereas the rest of the drivers around him are on the mediums, apart from Tico, Voller, Karim, Nilo, and Gelram. Thank you very much for the follow, LRL Rylan. Thank you very much for the follow, sir. Thank you for joining us here for round 11 with AERS. And it is Las Vegas. Schumacher in the pits. Again, OMB just not having that luck when it comes down to racing. Schumacher and OMB, good qualifying once again, but just the race has really got away from him. Nico still up there in that P5 position behind Ray Wintz, and it is a battle. This it's a team battle. It's VNT versus AERT up at the front, and looks like AERT have the advantage. Just looks like Ray Wintz just can't get the pace through Sector 2 to stay on the back of Track Racer, but then closes up as he is still within DRS range. And OMB, Nico looking to add a little look there on Ray, but just not close enough, trying to unsettle Ray going into turn 14. But Ray, nerves of steel, stays true to himself and maintains the position. As Track Racer going for it into turn 1 against Melwin. Is this AERT going P1 and 2? Track Racer pushing, left just enough room there on the exit. And he's going to have the pace advantage on the run down to turn 5 with that wider run. But Melvin using a bit of AERS to hold on to the position. Grant said be a smooth 17. I'd be lapped by now, mate, with these guys' pace. I probably would have been lapped. These guys are rapid. So yeah, let's have a look a bit further back. Let's see what's going on. Adrian P7 in behind Zito, who is on the hards. The hards will, I mean, Zito will start picking up positions soon, but I think if I was AERT, I would want Track Racer and Caden leading in P1 and 2, strategy-wise. Have I just seen Adrian without his front left end plate? Or is it just because it's black? Ah, there we go, it is there. Couldn't see it with the colour of the tyres and stuff, as we've got Ray Wins under pressure here from Nico. Bad turn 14, 15 and 16 from him. And he is feeling the pressure from Nico here. Nico trying to take that P4 away from him. He shoots it down the inside. Little bit of contact from Nico. Zito watching on in at P6. Nico trying to go for the up and under. Can he pull it off? He is putting immense pressure on Ray Wins here. Side by side, they'll go into turn 5. Nico inside line, Ray around the outside. Oh, twitchy exit from the pair of them there. See them both sliding. Zito, though, watching on, looking to go for the position, putting Nico under pressure. And you can see the hards are probably coming into the road now. Better grip than the medium tyres, just ever so slightly, as we get Grant's F1 with the follow. Massively appreciated, sir. Zito all over the back of Nico. He's putting him under immense pressure. He's pretty much pushing him through these corners as they make contact with the entry of turn 12. Zito was pretty much pushing Nico through sector 2 there. As we see Caden move back up into the lead of the race. Been nothing but swapping up at the front, but like I said, if I was AERT and their race engineer, I'd be asking Track Racer to try and put Melvin under a bit more pressure. Let's try and get a P1 and 2. Try and control this race from the front before the pit stop phase, as we get a caution in sector 1. And it's nothing too bad. Drivers continue on, but Nico is now split away from Track Racer, Caden and Melvin, leaving Melvin kind of on his own now. He's got to do this all on his own. He did have his teammate in there to battle with Track Racer and Caden, but now he's lost a position, and it's Nico that is trying to get a podium away from AERT and VNT here. Moving up into P4. Zito still yet. Hang on, where the hell is... Why is Zito P14? What happened? We missed it, but Zito must have had contact, and it has dropped him down after such a great qualifying. Starting P1, he took the pain early, going onto the hards, letting a few people pass him because he knew he just couldn't defend it, and something has gone awry for Zito now, with him being all the way down in P14. So unlucky, but let's hope he can gain some more positions. Let's see if he can get a few positions back. Let's hope he doesn't give up. Oh, so was it Voller? Voller P7, Voller making moves. Last time we checked on board with him was sat down in P11, but those mediums are dying off and the hards are coming into their own, and you can see that Voller is using that grip. He's gaining the positions, making the moves. And let's see how many more moves he can take until the pit stop phase kicks in. here at AERS. But now P6 for Voller. Ray losing position. Schumacher, 10-second time penalty. And that's a DNF. OMB, just not the evening for them here at Vegas. But the lads up at the front will know that this man is making moves. He's gaining positions. And the hard tyre is now the faster tyre on the circuit. More grip than the mediums as we move into lap 8. Well, we're on lap 8, sorry. Could this be a joy? We got AJ in the chat. Yes, AJ. How we doing, bro? Nice to see him in the chat. And then they all feed through. We've still got the AERT boys in at P2 and 3. As we get Nico going for an undercut here. He's gone for an early stop. He did it last time out in Mexico and got a great undercut on Quantum. Can he do it here again at Vegas? Moving onto the hard compounder tyres. We've also got damping as well into the pit lane. And that has put Adrian on the back foot. As now Voller into P4. And SCI now find themselves looking at the top 3. And can Voller try and get involved for a podium? Now, I mean, is Melwin and Caden and Track Racer, well, one of the AERT boys, going to react to Nico's pit stop? I think one of them at least needs to have him not, you know, lead and be out in the front and have such a big gap, because we've seen the gap that he can get. As it's giggled, and it's a virtual safety car. We have a virtual safety car. Now, if Melwin Caden can get to the pits before the safety car, virtual safety car ends, this could help them massively. And it could really be a sting in the tail for Nico. So let's see what they decide to do. Are we going to see any of them jump into the pit lane and use this virtual safety car? We are going to see the boys into the pit lane, and it will be Track Racer that has to take... No, it isn't Track Racer that has to take the pain. And we are back under race conditions. And Track Racer decided to take the option of the double stack. Did it catch him out? There he's out of the... That's the fucking quickest pit stop I have ever seen. Where is Nico? Nico already through. And Caden does manage to get out in front of him. So the undercut works for Nico on Track Racer, but not so much for him on Caden and Melwin, as they took that virtual safety car as a gift to get into the pits and get onto them hards and have a nice gap. Look at the gap that they've got to Nico, 3.7 seconds, and it is going to be probably a race winning battle between these two come the end of this race. I mean, we know once we see one safety car, you usually have another. But well, we've had a virtual, so... I mean, even when we've had virtuals, we have had the safety car after that, so let's hope that that doesn't happen. But it could be definitely the case. I think they just took advantage of the VSC. And I think, yeah, track position. They took advantage of that, and we've seen how good these lads are with the tyres. So, you know, I think that they will definitely make it to the end. 100%. There's Nico with the quickest lap, trying to close that gap to the front of two technically P1 and 2 on the circuit. We still have Voller, Tico, Karim, Nilo, Zito, and Sim Barrett's all to pit as of yet. to move onto the mediums. Let's have a look at Voller. Racing on his own up at the front. Let's give the Voller fans what they want. We'll give them a full lap on board with Voller at the end of this one. I know they'll be asking for it, so let's just give it them before they do ask. Thank you very much, Natem, for the follow. Massively appreciated. Hard to find around there. Yeah, they will be. Yeah, they'll just save now till the end, so they've got good tyres, because once the lads at the front move on to the mediums, they're going to be rapid, and with Voller's pace, he's going to be making moves and trying to battle for a podium. You can see it. His pace is looking phenomenal. So, definitely keep an eye on this, man. And let's go on board with him. Let's watch a lap from Voller here at Vegas. It's squirrely on the on turn 2 there. He is on 11 lap old hard though as well. Track racer with your fastest lap there. The 132.666 I think it was. Yeah, I think hard medium will be a lot quicker than the medium hard. But we'll see which strategy comes out on top. Who gets across that line first? He double stacked. Yeah, probably. I think it may have saved them from potentially coming under attack from Voller at the end. Yeah, double stack VSC thing. But here he is, Voller, making his way down the strip there. There we go. There is a lap for the great man. I hope all you Voller fans are satisfied now. So let's take a look at Caden. Caden is managed to get in front of Melwin, and look at how close they are to the back of Sim Barrack and Nilo. They are just 2.5 seconds away from the lead pack. Obviously Voller and Tico in front of that, but Zito carries the rest of them, and these guys have basically made up a pit stop distance to them. Lucky with the VSC as well, as we said earlier on, manages to get in under VSC and get a cheap pit stop there. Nilo knows what to do. He's probably got his orders. I'd be feared to overtake. But yeah, very spread out this race. I mean, it's not something that we're kind of used to seeing just so early on in the race. I mean, we are pretty much halfway through now, but there's a lot of space, not really many trains happening at this moment in time as we see Ragnito go past Nico there. Nico dropping all the way back here. Nico really has suffered with that early pit stop, and now finds himself, and it's just not going OMB's way once again here this evening. Something's happened to Melwin anyway. Looks like he's struggling a bit. Definitely losing time. And Caden's got a bit of a barricade in between himself, and it looks like Nilo, just a bit slow, so obviously we've got Caden trying to get through. He gets through, and now he has 2 cars between himself and Melwin. And is this Caden's evening? He is moving to wheel after this race. It would be an amazing send-off for the lad if he could win this race here at Vegas this evening. Sam Lewis, he made a mistake going into the back straight. Oh, damn. On Melwin's wheel right now. Every race, he's got 0 racecraft. Everybody going in on Melwin in the chat. But yeah, it is unfortunate for him. But it is good for Caden, who is making moves once again. Caden going for it on Karim and gets through. Let's get Nilo with a 10-second time penalty for SCI. And Nilo definitely not going to be picking up any points after that. Yanil. But it says Nilo on his name. Nilu. 10 seconds. He sped in the pit lane. He did indeed. So Caden nearly on the back of P2 here, but when these guys, as we get Ray Wins as well, 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. VNT's night kind of unraveling with Melwin. I mean, Melwin is kind of still in it to go for a podium, but I mean, Ray Wins was having such a good race, but it's kind of unfolded now with the penalty. Might as well bin it to help forward. Yep, Ray got 1-2. As the Melwin going for the move against Zito, the man who led at the beginning of this one, but we jumped on board with him to find him all the way down in P14. He does pit now, and so does Voller. I think everybody on the hards pitting, apart from Tico. Tico staying out there. I think he had to stay out due to, obviously, his teammate pitting. But Caden having a really good race. Melwin sorted himself out. He's now back within range of Caden. So we'll let that race continue on. Voller on fresh mediums. This could be an interesting watch to see how many places this man actually gains on these medium compounder tyres. And I don't think it'll take him long to get into the battle for the podium. That's how you make a pit lane. So Voller, let's see what you can do, pal. We'll check back in with Voller very soon. But let's have a look at the rest of the drivers. We've got Trap Racer down in P6. And he is looking to chase down Ray and Adrian. Can he get within DRS range of the two and try and split the VNT team once again? And I know Trap Racer is going to try and defend his position, but Voller on fresh tyres is going to be a demon. It's going to be an absolute demon. Magneto and Nico, they're battling for opposition. I mean, those guys that are up at the top at the minute driving from... Sorry, Kai. So, like, Jarno, basically what you're asking is what the difference is between Jarno and Danny Berezny and all them and Caden and Melvin and Ray. I think probably the biggest difference is probably the amount of practice that they get to do, and obviously I think a lot of these lads have school, college, stuff like that, whereas them boys have just committed their whole time to putting in laps. So I think it just comes down to more race practice more than anything. Melvin has 1,600 hours. Well, Melvin needs to touch grass. But I think that's what's separate. I think, and it very much comes down to, like, it is natural ability as well. I think that, you know, is one of them things. You either got it or you don't. It is one of them. You do have to have that kind of, yeah, you've just got to have that ability and the love for the game. I mean, we all know how bad this game is at the minute, and these lads still turn up, still put the effort in, still really try and go for it. So, you know. Streamer lobbies. Yeah, I think I have seen him in a couple of streamer lobbies, to be honest. I have seen Finley in Infartic lobbies as well. It might not be Finley, but it might be Melvin. But I don't know if, like I said, I met David Scipio. He's a Creator Series driver yesterday. So, and we were talking, and he's thinking about getting his own league going, and might be doing some commentating for him on behalf of him as well. So, good things come to those who wait. So let's take Gaps and leader back off there. There we go. And get back to the racing. So Nilo down in P9 does have that 10-second time penalty. We've got Ray Wins, who does have a penalty as well as Adrian. And we've got the front two. And I tell you what, Caden is leaving a gap between himself and Melvin. He's now dropped Melvin out of DRS range, which is good for Caden. He can relax a bit. He doesn't have to worry too much. I mean, Melvin isn't out of, as we see contact there from Melvin with the wall on entry to the corner. So only open lobbies I've ever done is Duncan Offman's ones like 8 months ago. Jesus. I mean, I think I've been in one of Duncan's, but I've never really tried to join any of the ones, to be honest, because I did my own 5-lapper thing, which, like I said, I'm still toying with the idea of Saturday night 5s. So, yeah, we'll have to see about that one. But Adrian going for the move against Ray Wintz there, moving up into P3. Track Racer not far behind this now, but look who also follows on. It is the great man himself, it's Voller. And he is right in the hunt for a podium position now. But we did see that the tyres did kind of die off. I'd say he's got about 3 or 4 more laps on them tyres before they tend to even out. So he really does have to go for it here. And Track Racer has got some defending to do. All the Voller fans. Some good racing. Track Racer feeling the pressure from Voller here. Voller all over the rear diffuser of the AERT driver. And what pressure it would be knowing how good this man is on any circuit. And this should be a pretty easy move into the braking zone Or maybe even before for Voller. But let's see what he does as they now make their way down to turn 14. Is Voller going to try and take the position? Right there and then, you see Track Racer just getting a little bit defensive there, just pulling out a little bit to stop Voller maybe having a little look. Track looking a bit unsteady on the exit there, and that is like putting a drop of blood in front of a shark. Voller sensing a bit of weakness here, looking for the outside line into turn 1. Is he going to go all the way around the outside? Does he take the position away from Track Racer? He doesn't. I think he just got caught out a bit by Melvin there. I think Melvin got a bit unsettled into turn 1 because he did manage to get DRS off Caden, but then lost some time to him on the exit. He's nervous. He's the first defending the aura. But yeah, I think Voller definitely has a potential to. I mean, I think he's got P3 in the bag. I think we can all probably admit that. But I think it's going to be it'd be a tall order for him to try and catch Melvin and go for a P2. But being stuck in these DRS trains is going to cause Voller to maybe use his ERS and really try and go for the move. He chucks to the outside, does Voller. And still Track Racer just defending his position, holding on and managing to keep the great man in behind him. But have we seen a bit of contact from Trat against the wall, which again welcomes Voller in as they go side by side down to turn 1. Trat trying to defend the position, Voller trying to go for a little bit of a switchback, bit of contact. Voller around the outside, can he get the move done? Now they're on the way down to turn 5, side by side they go. It's Track Racer versus Voller, SCI versus AERT. Who comes out on top? Voller around the outside, Track has the inside line. Again, I think the mistake on the exit has probably cost Track Racer here. And Voller, as he swept through, does he have the move complete? He does, but Track Racer's still there, right there with him, going for the inside line. Is that contact? I think he just managed to miss Voller there. But Voller taking P5, and I think it was only a matter of time with him being on those fresher medium compounder tyres. Trat knowing that probably it was going to happen eventually. But he did defend it very well. Let's give him that, people. That was a good defence from Trat to try and hold Voller behind. But the mistakes were there, and the blood was in the water, so to speak, and Voller went for it. But no DRS for Voller. Sees Track Racer taking that position back away from Voller. Better exit out of turn 16 this time for Track Racer. And now Track needs some DRS. He needs to try and close that gap between himself and Ray. But he's going to be outside, and we'll see Voller retaking. We're going to see that this is probably going to be a running theme till the end of this race. We've got 2 laps of racing to go. And is Voller just going to wait until that final lap to get the move done? I think he knows that a potential podium probably out of reach now. And it's going to be trying to take P5 away from Track Racer. Anything going on a bit further back, we got Nico up into P8, trying to salvage something for OMBA. Nilo outside the top 10, but he's not too far outside that top 10. Can he reclaim that P10 position, or is that damage on the Mercedes? It is. It's the right end plate off the front wing missing for Nilo. And yeah, that's going to be, it's going to be a bit more difficult for him to maintain probably P10, and unless he waits for that final lap against Rag, but he's not. He's going for it straight away, and that is P10 for Nilo with just a couple of laps of racing to go. Melwin in at P2, just not been able to get back within DRS range. Very wide run through turns 1 and 2, costing him a hell of a lot of time there to Caden, costing him more than half a second through turns 1, 2, and 3, 4. Very bad couple of corners there for Melwin, and I mean, if them corners continue, could Melwin be feeling the pressure on the final lap? 4.5 seconds, so he's got a nice bit of a buffer there, but the mistakes are there from Melwin. Caden, yeah, he's had a fucking brilliant race. And what a send-off to his final, probably final race here on controller. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's have a look at Voller. Once again, he is past Track Racer and has now gapped him his left track behind. And the pace was there from Voller, but Track Racer defended well. Voller potentially could have been looking at a podium, but I think is just out of reach here at Vegas, as we will just have one lap of racing at the end of this one. Yes, Misha, how's it going? Track Racer, 3-second time penalty for Track. That's going to see him lose positions. He could potentially drop to P8 with that time penalty. But it's been about one man all evening long. Melwin has made mistakes. He's pretty much given Caden this race win. And what a final race on controller for AERT this will be for this young man. It has been a stellar race from start to finish for him. Qualifying went well, he probably could have done better, but regardless, P2 in qualifying, and he's going to finish this race P1, and what a race it has been from him. The virtual safety car came out at the right time. He took the advantage of it. And, yeah, congratulations to Caden for such a dominant performance here at Vegas. Because Caden's just been that good here at Vegas. But it's going to be his first time on the top step this season after such an amazing drive here at Las Vegas. It's going to be a great send-off for Caden. Here he comes. He's round the final corner. It's the win for Caden here at the Las Vegas circuit with Melwin getting P2. It's going to be Voller. Voller gets P3. Gets the podium due to the penalties. I've totally forgot about them, but great result from Voller. Great drive to come back and get that P3. I've got to admit, I did doubt him at the beginning, but I think he's shown me there. Never doubt the Voller. Never doubt him. Because there he is on that podium. Track Racer left the session, finished P8. As I said, did lose the position due to that 3-second time penalty. But what a race that was. And a great, great final race for Caden here at AERS. On wheel, not his final race altogether. It will be his C'est la vie race on controller as he is moving to wheel. And we wish him the best of luck. And a big, massive W for AERS on a great win. Caden on the top step. Go on, son. Statistical goal. Okay, okay. So there we have it. There's your race over, your race winner, Caden. Fastest lap goes to the great man, Voller, driver of the day. And I completely agree with it there. Voller, great drive. Great drive. Most overtakes goes to Sim Barracks 1. GG's on that. But yeah, absolutely great race here this evening. At Las Vegas, Voller also taking the fastest lap of the race there with a 132.637. Great lap there from Voller. So, yeah, absolutely great race. Thank you so much for joining me for round 11 here at Las Vegas. It has been an absolutely amazing race. Absolutely buzzing for Caden. Did such a good job at the front, and as I said, best of luck with the move to controller. So, as always, I would like to say thank you to all the drivers that turned up this evening to take part in this race and put on the show for yous. Thank you to everybody that got involved in the chat as always. Great to see you all in. Great to see people coming back and watching the streams over and over again. Really is heartwarming. So thank you to each and every one of you. But that's going to be all from me this evening, people, here on the commentator channel with the AERS competition. From me and everybody else here at AERS, take care, have a great evening, good night, and enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll see you next time for round 12. Goodbye.